Hi, I'm Lori Baker with Quilters Newsletter. Today we're going to talk about using large-scale prints with help from our friends at Rowan Fabrics. I'm using the Martha Negley collection, the classic collection. It has some wonderful large floral motifs. When you decide to use a large-scale print, the first thing you need to do is figure out how much fabric you need to use. So at the fabric store, before you have them cut the fabric, you want to audition and decide what part of the print you're going to use. So for instance, I look at this one and this part of the yellow kind of fades into the background when I hold it by itself. When I look at this one, we've got all these extra flowers kind of crowding in and it muddies up the background. But look at this one. Now we have a nice floral that kind of stands by itself. So that's the one I want to use. I have two of that motif in this section of fabric, and there are another three on the other half under the fold. So for my three-part table runner, this is plenty of fabric. Now when I get home and start getting ready to cut, I want to decide how big to make my blocks. So I'm going to take the first border fabric and I'm just going to lay it on my large scale print, and I'm going to mess around with it a little bit until I have a pleasing square. Once I have that determined, that's the size of my block, and I need to cut that plus a ½ inch for seam allowances. I also want to make sure that I like the finished look, so I'm going to add that second border on. You'll notice that this is a directional print, so I cut part of them crosswise and part of them lengthwise so that it all goes the same direction on my finished table runner. And yes, I like that look. So this is how big I'm going to cut this center square, again with the addition of the ½ inch seam allowances. All the construction is fairly simple. With large scale prints, you do want to use simple construction because if you cut up your print, you're going to have just kind of a muddy looking thing. And do remember that large scale prints are wonderful for garments too. So I hope you learned some fun things to do on your next project. Here is what my finished one looks like. Lots of fun. I hope you enjoy yourself with your next large scale print project.